Stepping back on the court for the Pleasantville Vikings, number 23, Cash Connor. Coming in for the Brooklyn Tigers, number 25, Kinsley Murray, and number 20, Aria Armstrong.
Vikings with the basketball, or correction, Tigers with the basketball. Vikings up 12, 18-6. Tigers shooting free throws. The first one is in, make it 18-7. Zuri kicks it up to Aaliyah, back up the middle. Vikings get it down quickly, and the bucket. A 12-point lead against the Tigers of Hurricane. Vikings get the steal. Zuri from three, off the money. Tigers get the board and push it up the court. Working against Sutton, shot too hard. Rebound to the Vikings. Zuri has it, kicks it up. That's Aaliyah Sikander down low. Layup good for the Vikings. As Mosman for the Vikings gets the bucket, picks up the 2 points. Vikings up 22-8. Tiger 3 air balls. Viking ball on the baseline. Sutton's shot too hard for the Vikings. Aaliyah on defense, working against the Tigers. 4 seconds in the quarter. 3, 2. Tigers didn't get a shot off, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Vikings 22, Tigers 8 here in Pleasant Grove. Tigers getting the ball after the quarter break. We apologize for the lack of commentary in the first period. There was a lot of last-minute technical issues for the broadcast. Travel called on the Tigers. Vikings get the ball on the baseline. Tabitha Clark to inbound. The Sikander sisters to take the inbound. Aaliyah gets it. Working against the, not even mini, working against the press. Tabitha, 3 off the money. In the season opener, she started the game going 4 for 4 against the American Fork Cavemen in a big win for the Vikings. Hoping for a similar result today. Tiger 3 misses. Rebound Vikings. Mosman bringing it up the court, kicks it up to Aaliyah. Vikings able to play either extremely fast or extremely slow. Mosman hits a 3 in the corner. Vikings 25, Tigers 8. A great start for the Vikings. Not the start you were hoping for if you're a Hurricane Tigers fan. Tigers working it around the top of the key. Haven't really had that many drives towards the basket. A lot of mid-range to deep shots for the Tigers. Haven't found their mark. Tabitha in the fast break gets it poked away, recovers, and gets it out to Janice. Almost deadly for the Vikings, and an 8-second violation. Tabitha had to go back for it. Janice didn't get it up quickly enough, and that will be Tigers basketball as in comes Amaya Kennerly for Aaliyah Sikander of the Vikings. Tigers trying to work it around. Get it out to the top of the key. Drive, layup, too hard. Rebound stays down here. 3 off the money as well. Mosman, I believe, with the board, kicks it out to Tabitha. Up court quickly. Janice gets the bucket. Vikings up big to start the game against the Tigers. As whistle blows, that looked like a clean block. 2 shots coming for the Tigers. First free throw falls for Hurricane. As in comes Sutton Via for the Vikings. Tigers in a big hole, missing that free throw. Rebound to Amaya. Gets it to Tabitha. Out in the corner, down to Sutton. Back out, Tabitha. Three. Almost in. Amaya gets the board. Can't get the put in to fall. Tabitha working 1-on-3 against the fast break. Amaya gets back. Not in time. Bucket, Tigers. As inbound taken by Amaya. Kicks it up to Janice. Back to Tabitha at the half-court line. Amaya back to Tabitha. Sutton's defender temporarily fell. Could have been big for the Vikings. Missed three in the corner. I almost said Caveman. Tigers get the board and foul on Janice Sikander on the sideline. Tigers retain possession. As we are working on getting rosters for both sides in this game. The score, Vikings 27, Tigers 11. Inbound taken at the top of the key. Vikings playing some great defense. Whistle blows. I don't believe the clock started after the inbound, as they will redo it on the sideline. Tigers get the inbound, get the screen, kick too high, goes out of bounds. Viking basketball in the corner. Vikings, Amaya Kennerly bringing it up the court, guarded, gets it over the timeline. Tabitha down low, Zuri even further down low. Sutton too hard off the glass. Tigers get the board and the break. Working it around the top of the key. Get it down in the wing. Trying to find an open space to get a shot off. Needing a lot of skip passes and a lot of screens. Working against Zuri. Tries to get it down low. Sutton is there to steal the pass. Kicks it back up to Amaya. Tabitha running through on the clear out. Nobody saw her down in the corner. Vikings lose the ball. Tigers get the steal. As couldn't get the layup on the break. Kicks it up. Vikings fast break. Zuri gets the bucket. Vikings closing in on 30. Tigers can't get past 12. As a tight contest from the Tigers recently on defense. Vikings playing very good defense of their own. Tigers coming into this one 1-0. Vikings starting off 2-0. Get the ball down low. Blocked. Sutton Via gets it up to Maele Tuasoa. Down to Zuri from the wing. Off target. Rebound goes the way of the Vikings. Amaya. Tabitha traveled. Tigers basketball.
And number 3, Alina Sikander. Coming in for Broken Tigers, number 2, Aspen Boucher.
Substitutions for both sides. Ball gets inbounded. Brought up for the Tigers by number 1. Takes the shot off the money. Laney Walker. Board goes Sutton Via. Throws it right to a Tiger. Hits it out of bounds. As it is Viking ball on the baseline. Tigers staying with the full court press. Trying to make the Vikings uncomfortable and force a couple turnovers. Zuri gets the inbound. Kicks it up to Aaliyah. Working one-on-one against Aspen Boucher. for the Tigers. Zuri, Sutton down low. Layup is good. 31-11. Vikings lead by 20. Big game for the Vikings. The JV earlier today winning 73-25. Vikings get the board. Cash Connors and is fouled. Couldn't see which Tiger committed the foul, as Cash will take it on the baseline. Light pass. Aaliyah is there. Gets it in the front court to Zuri. Vikings resetting the offense. Sutton in the high post. Gets it down off the hands of Maele. Tigers with the break, working against Sutton. Foul called on the Vikings on the shot. I keep thinking this is American Fork, and it isn't. It's Hurricane. Tigers will have 2 shots. Shooting will be L. Jensen for Hurricane, the junior guard. No fear, going right at Sutton via in the paint off of the break, as in comes Coco Bennett, the freshman for Hurricane. Second free throw off the money. Sutton gets the board, kicks it to Zuri, brings it up the court quickly, 4-on-3. Zuri gets the bucket. 35-12 the score. Zuri Nordstrom. Tigers 3 off the mark. Zuri, full court pass, intercepted by the Tigers. Working it back, Maele now against Sutton, gets the block, tipped it right to a Tiger, gets another block. Sutton via down low for the Vikings. Big on defense that play. Cash Connors gets the rebound off of the missed Tiger shot. Aaliyah Sikander bringing it up the court, gets the floater to fall. 50 seconds left in the half. Vikings up big. Tigers looking for any sort of an answer. Bringing it up the court for the Tigers. I believe that's number 1, Laney Walker. It is. Working against Aaliyah on the wing. Kick, tries to get it down low. Sutton hits it away. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Tigers. It'll be Viking basketball. Great effort, Maele Tuasoa for the Vikings, hitting it off of the Tigers and out, as Cash will inbound it to Zuri. Immediate press from the Caveman, Coco Bennett. Vikings get it up the court. Cash Connors and Aaliyah, almost a backcourt violation. Vikings lucky it didn't go that way. Skip pass hit by the Tigers, and the Vikings steal it right back. Aaliyah, 7 seconds, out in the corner. Maele, good! The Vikings 3, 38-12, and that will be the score going into halftime. Vikings up 26 here in Valhalla. Coming out of the halftime break, Vikings up 38-12. Start with possession. Coming into the third quarter, hasn't been a lot of single player excellence to highlight to this point. The Sikander sisters and Tabitha Clark, probably the biggest contributors. Watch out for Aaliyah, number 3, out on the wing for the Vikings. Sutton Villa gets the ball hit out of her hand. Cavemen. Wow. Tigers get possession on the sideline with the ball. Gets it tipped. Janice, fast break, fouled on the layup. Vikings shooting 2. Aaliyah Sikander, that was the other sister. Janice Sikander took the hit. Foul called on number 10, Elle Jensen, for Hurricane. 2 shots coming for Aaliyah Sikander. First one off, as the Vikings really running their style of play to perfection so far. A lot of fast break and a lot of contact on layups. This is a team that thrives at the free throw line and in the full court press. Aaliyah Sikander, great at defense for the Vikings. You see her there working against the Tigers. And then down low, the 2 giants in the game for the Vikings. Number 13, Tabby Clark. Ooh, big hit. Travel called on Tabitha. Her and down low, number 24, Sutton Villa for the Vikings. The 6'6" sophomore, offers from several major schools. Vikings getting the full court press. Cash Connors and Aaliyah Sikander, the ones in the backcourt. 3 off target for the Tigers. Board. Follow-up goes short. Tabitha bringing it up the court. Down to Janice. Layup. Good. Vikings 41, Tigers 12. As this is exactly what the Vikings did on Tuesday against the Cavemen of American Fork. Sutton via block. Hit out of bounds off of Tabitha Clark. Will stay Tigers basketball. As in comes Arya Armstrong and I believe number 25, Kinsley Yardley for the Tigers. Deep inbounds pass taken by Afton Bennett. Kicks it 3. Too hard for the Tigers. 3. Too hard again. Aaliyah Sikander with the board. Working against number 14, Coco Bennett. Gets it up to Tabby. Shot gets blocked. I think she was going for the pass down to Sutton. Recovers the block and gets the bucket. Big play for the Vikings. The senior guard, Sutton Via, incredible at disrupting shooters down low. Janice gets it up. Tabitha, wide open lane, gets the bucket. Vikings get the steal off the inbound. Aaliyah down to her sister, Janice. Spin, layup, hoop. Bucket, no good. Foul on the shot. Janice shooting 2. And that is the majority of the Vikings offense. Get it down low, get the contact, and hopefully get the bucket to get the free throws. Janice gets the first bucket in for the Cavemen. Comes, I believe that's Makai Slack for the Tigers. Second free throw good from Janice. Vikings 47, Tigers 12. 5:45 left in the third quarter. Floater off the glass and the back iron. Board. Foul on Tabitha Clark. will be Tigers basketball under the basket. Correction on the sideline. Mackay Slack to inbound. Some confusion on where the inbound is to come from. It will be Tigers ball on the baseline. In comes Zuri Nordstrom for the Vikings. Shot too hard for the Tigers. Ball goes out of bounds. Viking basketball under the basket as in comes number 2, Aspen Boucher, the senior small forward for the Tigers. As the Vikings pass intercepted, Tigers working it down low. Airball the layup. Ball goes out of bounds off of the Tigers. Viking basketball. The quick turnover. Coco Bennett with the steal. Vikings need to avoid that again. Zuri gets it into Janice. Working against Bennett. It's trapped. Zuri gets it up. 3-on-4 for the Vikings. Lob down. Sutton, good. Vikings closing in on 50. Tigers trying to find any form of an offense. Laney Walker down low. Shot looked like it got tipped by Janice. Gets the ball from Coco. Working against Arya Armstrong. Finds Zuri. Gets it back up to Coco. Wide open 3. Decides not to take it. Gives it back to Janice. Working against Bennett. Switch on the screen down low. Coco. No money. Sutton with the board and the harm. Sutton via shooting 2 for the Vikings. Off the board from the missed Coco Bennett shot. Correction, I'm looking at the wrong name. Cash Connors with the shot for the Vikings. In comes Amaya Kennerly for Janice Sikander. And for the Tigers, in comes Ellie Durant. Possibly to try to stop Cash Connors for the Vikings. As Sutton gets the second free throw, Vikings hit 50. The full court press almost got the Tigers. Amaya bit on the pass. Tigers had numbers for a second. Shot too hard. Sutton gets the board. Kennerly up to Nordstrom. Connors one-on-one layup. Gets the foul. And as I said, Vikings offense is predicated on getting the ball up the court quickly and getting fouls called on the layups. Cash at the line. Gets the first. As in comes for the Tigers, Ellie Jensen and number 24, Ashlyn Hershey for Hurricane. Cash with the second free throw. Gets that one to fall. Vikings going on a great run. I don't think Hurricane has scored since the second quarter. And early in the second quarter, get that 3 to fall. Elle Jensen in the wing against the Vikings. Put some points up. Tigers get it to 15. Sutton fouled on the layup as Tabby Clark prepares to come back in for the Vikings. Foul called on Ellie Durant. Hurricane has not been able to find an answer for the fast-paced and highly contact-driven offense of the Vikings, as in along with Tabby comes Maele Tuisoa. As Tigers, Hurricane making a substitution Did not see who came in. Sutton can't get the second to fall. Tigers get the board and throw it right out of bounds. Vikings will get the ball on the sideline. As this is set up to be a great 5 for the Vikings. Tabitha Clark, Zuri Nordstrom, Sutton Via, Maele Tuasoa, and Amara Kennerly. All great individually. Amaya short on the 3. Out of bounds, Tiger ball. This could be a great defensive lineup for the Vikings. Nordstrom and Kennerly incredibly active on defense. Tuasoa right there along with them. And then just the pure height of Clark and there she is again, Sutton Via. Foul called on Clark. That is her third, at least her third of the game. In foul trouble fairly quickly. Timeout taken by Hurricane. Vikings up 53-15 with 1:47 left in the third in Pleasant Grove. That is the 4th foul on Tabitha Clark. Do not expect to see her for a good portion of the remainder of this game. Shouldn't be hugely consequential. Sutton Via, another block down low. Big. Maele couldn't get the bucket, gets her own rebound and gets it in that time off the glass. As I would expect to see likely a lot of Maele Tuasoa and Ruby Mosman for the Vikings in place of Tabitha Clark in foul trouble. Sutton Via again with the block down low. Great on defense for the Vikings. Mosman misses twice, gets her own board the first time, wins the battle there. Zuri down to Sutton. Off the backboard, too hard. Tigers get it. Bringing it up the court, 3-on-3. Mosman, Nordstrom, and Tuasoa. Travel called on Hurricane. 40 seconds and counting in the third remain. Nordstrom into Sikander. Shot clock is turned off. Vikings can take it either all the way down to the fourth quarter or play for the last shot, likely both. Gets it down. Sutton. Tigers able to get the steal on the pass. Working 4-on-2 in the front court. Sikander's there. Gets the stop. Kicks it down to Zuri. 2-on-1. Zuri off the glass too hard. Rebound Ruby. Too short. Tigers get the board. 3, 2, 1. Shot off the backboard, and that will be the end of the third quarter. Vikings up 40, 55-15. 8 minutes of basketball are all that remain between the Vikings and another victory. Vikings not fully back on defense starting in the fourth. Sutton via another block. Tigers throw it out of bounds. Man, Sutton via down low. Big on defense. Has to have at least 8 blocks in this game. She has been huge, and I would expect to see a lot more of her. Tabitha Clark in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Aaliyah Sikander off the mark on that 3. Sutton gets the board and the foul. Vikings will take it on the baseline. It's never a guarantee in sports, but this is as close of a guarantee as you can get. Vikings up by 40. And on defense, really, really able to stop Hurricane from getting any offense going. It's been stuck at 15 for about 5 minutes. And before that, stuck at 12 for at least 15. Tigers off the side of the backboard on the layup. Ruby up to Aaliyah. Gets it to Tabitha, who gives it right back. Deep 3. Good! Aaliyah Sikander. Vikings get the 3. Bringing it up the court for the Tigers. Kicks it out. Shot too hard. Ruby Mosman caught it on her teammate Aaliyah Sikander. Aaliyah, great on both sides of the ball, showing off the range moments ago. Great on the defensive side. Shot too hard from Mosman. Via gets the bucket on the putback. Vikings eclipse 60. Lainey Walker bringing it up for the Tigers. Having to go against Tabitha Clark. Not a great set. I think Via got a piece of that. Stepped out of bounds on the catch. Sutton Via down low, big the past about 10 minutes of basketball for the Vikings. On the sideline, Kinsley, or baseline, Kinsley Yardy inbounds it to Coco Bennett. Nikki with the shot, off the money. Vikings get the board. Aaliyah full court pass, Tabitha, 3. Good! Tabitha Clark gives the adds to the Vikings lead. 5 minutes left to play. Not playing like she has 4 fouls. Huge, huge, huge for the Vikings. Tigers answer back with a bucket. Tigers closing in on 20. Vikings over 60. Big game and some big time plays for the Vikings' biggest players. The Sikander sisters, Tabitha and Sutton, all showing out. Had Cash Connors down low. 3 for the Vikings. Sikander is there again. There's a reason it's her number. Tigers bringing it up the court. 3. Too hard. Get their own board. Blocked Sutton again. I believe that's 10 on the game for Sutton. Big play on defense from the sophomore. Tabby, heat check. Off the glass and out. Sikander almost had it again for the Vikings. Tigers working against Bennett. Gets the shot. Misses. Or Connors, rather. Tigers get the board and the bucket. 66-19. Tabitha. Aaliyah, 3. Short, off the rim. Tigers getting the board. Mosman hit away by Connors. Pushes it up the court. Sikander, 1-on-1. gets the bucket, 68-19. Vikings closing in on 70. Almost have a 50-point lead. Sutton with another block. Down low. Mosman gets the bucket, rather, puts the Vikings over 70, as there is an injured Tiger on the other end. Callie Hughes, the senior center, probably not who you want to see down for Hurricane. Looks like it's an ankle. Hopefully nothing serious. Getting helped off by the trainer. As that will be an injury timeout. Vikings up by 51, 70-19. Back from the injury timeout. Tigers with the ball, bringing it up the court quickly. Foul called. I believe that's Tabitha Clark's last. Direction fouls called on Amaya Kennerly for the Vikings. Her first. Could have been big for the Vikings. Tabitha, who gets the steal, fouled out there. Bringing it up the court, hits a double team, gets it to Zuri Nordstrom. Cross court, Maele, Amaya, Zuri, off the money. Maele gets the board, Cash, Tabby, no dice. Vikings out of bounds. Tigers will get the basketball on the baseline. In for the Vikings comes number 24, Sutton Villa. Inbound taken for Hurricane by Coco Bennett. Bringing it up the court, working against Clark. Gets it out to her teammate. Tigers working it around quickly. Armstrong with the ball. Gets it out to Durant. Down low, working against Nordstrom. It's the foul. Misses the bucket, but two shots, 1:21 left in the fourth quarter. Shooting for the Tigers will be, I believe that's number 20, Aria Armstrong for Hurricane. Can't get the first shot to fall. A big issue plaguing Hurricane all game. Not being able to get the shots to fall. Misses the second, but Hurricane able to get the board. Shot off the glass, no bucket. Scrum for the board. Jump ball called. That will be Viking basketball. As in comes number 10, Elle Jensen for Hurricane. Vikings able to essentially run out the clock. 50 seconds left. Amaya Kennerly met at the logo. Zuri, errant pass taken away by the Tigers. Down low shot off the bottom of the backboard. Foul called on Amaya Kennerly. 34.6 left in the game. Vikings 70, Tigers 19. Shooting for the Tigers, number 10, Elle Jensen. Gets the first. Gets the Tigers up to 20. Cuts the deficit to an even 50 with 34.5 seconds left. Jensen's second shot off the rim. Tabitha gets the board out to Sutton. Amaya. Timeout called by the Vikings. 29.1 left, up by 50 in Valhalla. Back from the Vikings timeout, Kennerly looking down low to Villa. Off the glass, too short. Scrum for the rebound. Tigers come away with it. 20 seconds left. Steal from the Vikings. Another fight for the ball. Tigers get it. Jump ball called. That would be Tigers basketball. 15 seconds even left in the game as Hurricane will call a timeout. I believe Vikings up by 50 late in the game as, yes, Hurricane calls a timeout. 20-70, the score, 15 left in the game. Coming out of the Hurricane timeout, they have possession of the basketball on the baseline following the jump ball in for the Vikings. Number 13, Tabitha Clark. Number 1, Amaya Kennerly. Number 0, Zuri Nordstrom. Number 11, Maele Tuasoa. And number 24, Sutton Villa. Hit out of bounds off of a Viking. Stays with the Tigers. Get the inbound. 3, 2, 1. Half-court heave, falls short, and that will do it. Vikings take the win 70-20, advance to 3-0 on the year, and hand the Hurricane Tigers their first loss of the season. Up next for the Vikings, they play West Jordan on the 25th, followed by Mountain Crest on December 2nd. They play at West Jordan and home versus Mountain Crest. And for the visiting Tigers of Hurricane, they play Harriman on, I believe, Monday, the 24th, at Harriman, followed by playing Draper APA at home on December 4th, as that should just about do it. The player of the game today, probably Sutton Vaya down low for the Vikings, had at least 10 blocks for the Vikings. Really, really key in stopping the Tigers' offense near the bucket. But until next time, I am Coleman Keel, and we will see you.